Do you still desire companionship from a man?
Of course. But will I ever get it? Would I ever meet a man that's emotional? And the problem is that I don't like the YT people. I'm only attracted to black men. So because I know that I would most like a lot of y'all don't have emotional intelligence or empathy or have the understandings of a woman, and it's hard to deal with y'all, that I'd rather just be by myself. It's easy. I'm not gonna settle for garbage. I know my worth and my value.
Hmm.
So if I'm not gonna have what I want, then fine. I ain't gonna have shit. It's not the end of the day. My life ain't miserable. I'm happy.
So since your divorce, have any of the men that you've tried to like entertain, have any of them had any emotional intelligence?
Listen, men don't get that far. I recognize red flags and I'm out. I don't play games with adults. I'm not a child. If I want a grown up ass relationship, I'm gonna treat a man like a grown up.
Hmm. Damn. So all these men, they've just had these like instantaneous red flags to the point where you just
Instantaneously, they lack I don't like scary men. I don't like a man. A weak man for me, it makes me feel I need a man with strength and power. And a man that is afraid to be vulnerable, a man that doesn't have confidence, a man that can't be true to himself, a man that does not love himself, a man that doesn't value himself, that's a turnoff for me. I need a man who loves himself.
so I'm curious, what exactly I mean, are those things that you if a man lacks those things, do you deem him to be like a weak man?
Yes.
Okay.
Because how the hell I'm gonna communicate with somebody that can't? How can if we have a problem and I'm in a relationship with a man, he can't tell me his problem. How do we fix the fucking problem if I don't know what the fuck the problem is? I'm not a fucking psychic. He has to be able to tell me, baby, this is what's going on. He has to be able to effectively communicate. And he has to be able to understand when I'm telling him something. We have to communicate so that we can compromise, so that we can have a successful relationship. A relationship is not about one person telling another person how to be. It's about experiencing each other. It's no head.
Do you believe in compromise in relationships? I asked because I mean, you said these men have just had instantaneous red flags, and I mean, I think from what I've heard and from what I've seen, a lot of women nowadays are like treating men like Build a Bear. Like you got to build a bear in your, in and you got to build a bear with you right now. Like
Right.
they want a
And they
man
don't
to
want to
be,
build a bear.
they want a man to be exactly how they want him to be, as
I don't
opposed.
want a man to be how I want him to be. I want a man to love himself. I love myself. I like me. So I want a man who likes himself because I want to enjoy him. I want to have fun with him. So if I get a man and he don't like himself, it's a turn off. I can't enjoy you.
Okay. Let me let me play this audio for you. I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. Shit, I'm gonna play a couple of them for you. So I want here.
A 13-year-old daughter asked for a vibrator. What does that conversation look like? Or what are your thoughts around introducing?
Give it to her. Yeah.
Amen. It's birth control, and it's natural and it's normal. If I don't get with you, you go find one of these nasty, dirty little boys and their dirty fingernails, and I just don't have time. Pleasure is peace. Maybe not give her like the super duper strong vibration. We don't need a broken by the age 18. I've taught you guys. There's no broken. Hey, okay, you can't become desensitized. What are you guys' biggest takeaways? As to mother. Read our book. Listen to your own mother intuition. Find your own voice and follow that. Even the bad choices are important. You have to make the bad choices in order to learn. And your kids have to see you make bad choices. They start dating and they're like, no person is perfect, but my mother was perfect. These little boys turn into men and vice versa and start judging their partners because their mothers portrayed this image of perfection that is not real.
What are your thoughts on that, Miss Christina? Do you
I
think
agree.
you agree even with her saying that if her 13-year-old daughter asked her for a vibrator that it should be given
Yeah.
to her?
Yeah, the problem with men is that y'all sexualize everything. So y'all sexualize a girl touching herself y'all sexualize masturbation. Y'all understand that y'all forget that sex and intimacy, y'all don't know the difference between intimacy and sex, which is really not good. Y'all look at porno and y'all think that that's what life is. It's more, that's not even intimacy. And if you notice, if you watch porno, it's very graphic and rough and it's not loving. It's very dehumanizing. It's very violent. And y'all associate that with intimacy, and that is not intimacy. And so if a girl gets a vibrator and she touches herself or she learns or she understands her body, because that's what it is, her understanding her body. It's nothing sexual about it. And not looking and making mistakes in front of your kids and allowing your children to see you make mistakes is great, because then you are able, as long as you allow to take able to take accountability and show your child where you learned from those mistakes. I agree with that. It's better for my children to see that I'm not perfect and I'm human and I'm going to make mistakes in life, but I can learn from mistakes so that my children can learn that type of behavior. They can learn how to make mistakes and actually learn from them, because it's going to happen. Nobody's perfect.
Right. I'm more so focused on the um 13-year-old girl having a vibrator to explore her body, as you said. So you do endorse that.
Yes, because it's not sexual. It's not sexual. Touching yourself and loving yourself is intimacy with yourself. It's not how y'all see it. It's not how y'all brains perceive it, because y'all been told that y'all associate that with porn and y'all associate that with sex and into what you do with your romantic partners. So to y'all as men, it's disgusting. But as women, this is why women need to be able to have a voice. And yes, there's some women that's not going to agree, but it's some women that's going to understand that, well, patriarchal women is not going to agree. But other type of women like me, we're going to understand that that's your body. That's there. You can touch it, you can rub it, you can learn. It's safe. And to be honest with you, it actually builds, when you understand your own body, better intimacy with the man when you are ready, because you understand what you like. So now when you're in that position of making love to your man, it's better. You enjoy it more. There's nothing wrong with it. Let's grow up, people.
So can she
Oh
now?
my God. Babies touch them. Somebody said she's 13. Do you know that babies touch themselves? Do you punish a child because the child is trying to figure out what the hell is that? They have no idea what their private parts are. They play and fiddle with themselves because they're learning their bodies. There's nothing wrong with that. Grow up. When you was a kid, you knew your arm was an arm. You think a newborn know? I've seen newborns smack their stuff and hurt themselves, and they start crying because they don't know it was them that hit their own stuff in their head. So now they running around, they touch. What is this? You don't think that happens? Kids do this. Come on, you people, y'all act like children.
So, as far as like the 13-year-old girl exploring her body, can she explore her body using her hands? Like, does she need to get a toy?
What do a vibrator look like? It doesn't all look like a penis.
I know.
So
It doesn't look like one at all.
all the vibrator is just a tool. She could get carpal tunnel syndrome. It just makes it easier. So she don't got to do this all day. That's all it is. It's just a tool that goes faster, gets the job done quicker. That's all.
Hmm. So you endorse getting 13-year-old girls vibrators if they desires. What if they
It's
wanted?
not about sex.
What if I mean, is does it stop there, or if they wanted to, possibly get into other toys, would you endorse that as well?
Vibrator go inside you. Doesn't go inside you.
Right.
It goes right on the clitorials, and it's clitoral stimulation.
Right. But you
Nobody
wouldn't.
said anything. She didn't say anything in that video about any other stuff. She said it vibrated. So we're not going there to no other stuff
Okay.
because nothing goes inside you.
Okay. So if a 13-year old boy came to his mother and or his father and asked for like the gawk gawk sex toy,
What
do you,
don't boys masturbate anyway? What's wrong with children having these open conversations with their parents?
so you would endorse getting a 13-year-old boy a gawk gawk toy?
What's wrong with listen? Doesn't the 13-year-old boy is the 13-year-old boy don't have a conversation with his parents? Is the 13-year-old boy just automatically not gonna? Isn't the 13-year-old boy still going to do it? So what is wrong with having that type of conversation with your parent?
I'm not asking about the conversation though, Mister.
No,
I'm
I'm saying
asking.
what is wrong with even if you use the toy and y'all open about it and this is a discussion, you know what it is. Kids are going to do these things anyway. What's wrong with having this type of open situation with your parent, not a stranger, your parent. And what if you jerk off anyway? And as a father, let's say a son went to the father jerk off, and the son said, "Well, look, son, this is a toy, gets the job done easier." They're doing it anyway. They're exploring it anyway. It's not going to stop them. Kids play with themselves. Let's act like when we wasn't kids, we wasn't touching ourselves.
So I just want to be crystal clear though. So you would endorse getting a 13-year-old boy a gawk gawk toy?
What's the thing that go on their thing?
Yes.
They jerk it off anyway. It's no different than a sock.
So you would?
They're gonna do it. If my son, if a child was out there doing it, he was using the sock, and my son said, "Look, ma, I use this sock, this special sock, and this is what I use this sock for." Okay, that's your sock. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh my God, my child is such." Oh, this because this religion, it got you all screwed up. It got you to the point that you don't even understand your bodies. Kids are going to jerk off anyway. It's no different than a sock.
So if the kid, what about getting like a 13-year-old boy like a blow up doll? Would you endorse that?
I didn't say that. No, we're not talking about all of that. And all of that wasn't even mentioned, so we're not going to even go there.
Okay.
They're jerking off and getting the doll. That's come on now. We're taking it to the other levels. We ain't going there.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just to be clear, so Miss Christina does endorse getting 13-year-old girls vibrators and getting 13-year-old boys gawk gawk toys to explore their bodies.